Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. We're getting ready to get into day 3 of Worlds. I am hoping here relatively soon that North America will be able to pick up their first win of the tournament. And I am hoping that Europe will be able to keep on their strong ways because they're looking very, very good so far in Worlds 2022. But before we get into the games today, we do have a little bit of drama and controversy to talk about. LS has found himself in a little bit of hot water. Obviously, the popular League of Legends content creator, streamer, personality, whatever you want to call him, and then kind of this has started to branch out into some other people as well. It's a really, really crazy situation. A little bit weird, a little bit confusing. I think my take is probably different than the majority of people's opinions and takes, so I want to kind of get this out here. But I also just want to explain the whole situation because my channel is obviously covering stories, talking about what's going on, and helping explain the popular stories to people so they don't miss out on anything. I've had a couple of people reach out to me already, be like, TLDR, what the heck's going on? What are you even talking about? So we will get into this. But of course, any story with LS, it's always going to be a little bit controversial. It's always going to be a little bit crazy. There's going to be people that get very, very passionate and riled up. Calm down. Don't be a weirdo. All that stuff. But let's get into it. This whole thing is based around this, and this is LS's Twitch stream with some panels down below. I don't know if he was I'm assuming he was also doing like ad reads or some kind of activation on stream for it or whatever. I don't know. I don't watch LS. I don't really watch Twitch streams in general, but these are at least the screenshots from Reddit of LS being sponsored by esportsbet.io. Get up to $200 of USDT, which is a crypto, extra with a 50% deposit bonus, $100 risk-free bet, get 100 USDT. Some people are getting mad because he's sponsored by a crypto gambling website, that he's getting sponsored by a gambling website, yada, yada, yada. Some people are just mad about that. Some people say, hey, crypto should not be involved in esports. Gambling should not be involved in esports, yada, yada, yada. I don't necessarily agree with that stuff, but that is at least what some people are riled up for. Just in general, I don't really have that big of a problem with gambling. I do think that rigged or fixed or shady gambling is really, really bad. And I do think it needs to be regulated to some extent, obviously. Also, I think that skill-based or at least somewhat skill-based gambling, stuff like sports betting and making picks and stuff like that, I think is in a whole different basket than like an online casino like roulette or slots or something like that. I think that's totally different. So if they're just betting on the League of Legends esports games, I don't have a big problem with that. We see that, especially in the United States, we see it all over the place in all of our big major sports. There's a ton of money to be had. And really, as esports continue to grow and become mainstream, betting is going to be some part of it. There's just too much money to have it not be, and esports isn't making enough money in general. So again, if sports, as long as matches aren't getting fixed, as long as that weird stuff isn't going on, and as long as it's somewhat skill-based, you can do research, there are profitable sports bettors and stuff like that. I don't really have a big kind of issue with that. Also, crypto can be a really, really good way to make like these online transactions and stuff like that. Again, I don't necessarily have a problem with crypto. Do I have a problem with pump and dumps and shady cryptos and the scams and a lot of the NFTs and stuff that went on? Yeah, sure. But just crypto in general, I don't think it's necessarily an issue. But there is even more that comes to this whole story that I actually do have a problem with. So there was a couple Reddit threads, and these are really, really blowing up in the last 8 hours. 5,700 upvotes. This is really, really big. Front page of the League of Legends subreddit, which is a massive subreddit. LS takes sponsorship from esports betting website known to facilitate match-fixing, high elo ranked solo queue games. Okay, to me, that is a game changer. That really changes everything. Again, if they're just using crypto to facilitate sports betting on pro esport matches that are not being fixed or compromised or whatever, that's fine. Once we start talking about the high elo solo queue betting and this being a website that is involved in that, I really, really, really start to take issue with it, especially a person like LS, especially a lot of these big League of Legends esports personalities and people. That to me is really, really bad, really problematic, and really hard to defend as much. Recently, LS has taken a sponsorship with an esports betting website known as esportsbet.io. This site allows betting on competitive esports matches such as League of Legends, Dota, CSGO, Valorant. However, the websites also have a streamers tab, and we can take a look at this here. We can see streamers. You can bet on their games, win or loss, win or loss, win or loss. I keep it taco, general sniper, tactical, and you can see the odds for betting on their games, all this different stuff. This is very weird and has been a really big issue for League of Legends throughout this season. And I do not think that LS should be taking sponsorships from websites like this and pushing this out to his obviously very, very large audience. Obviously, the website is sponsoring LS and paying him money because they think they can spread it to a larger and wider audience. And to me, I take really big issue with this because LS is somebody who is so involved and benefits so much off of not just League of Legends esports, but also streamers, personalities, popular players, high elo solo queue players. Like we've heard Faker come out and make statements about how betting is like ruining his games and it's ruining solo queue and all this stuff. We know that I don't know if he still is, but I know LS and Michaela used to be really good friends. Obviously, Michaela, Tyler 1's girlfriend. Tyler 1 has been very, very vocal and adamant about how the betting is directly ruining his experience and his League of Legends playing and stuff. And many, many other people are affected by this. That's not crazy to say. I'm sure another one of LS's friends, maybe not so much anymore, but Nemesis, I'm sure, goes through very, very similar things like this. And for people, it's very, very frustrating, and it ruins the game. And again, for somebody like LS, who directly profits so much off of the success of League of Legends and high elo and professional play and all this stuff, to be promoting a website that is actively deteriorating, that is very, very weird to me and is very, very hard to defend. Now, I want to assume, this is an assumption, this doesn't necessarily have to be true, but I'm assuming that this website is paying out good amounts of money, because again, this stuff is very, very popular. The betting on the high elo games and the betting on even the professional games, all stuff, there's a lot of money in that. They can throw around a lot of money. I'm sure LS is making a lot of money, so that's why it's very, very hard to pass stuff up like this. But also at the same time, understand that LS is wealthy himself. I don't know exactly how much money he has, but the Twitch earnings leaked a couple years ago. You can look at his YouTube views, you can look at his streams and stuff. Like, this guy has a lot of money. It's not like this. It's not like taking this sponsorship or not is the difference between him like putting food on the table for him and his family and all this stuff. He is wealthy. He does not necessarily. To me, it's different than somebody who's like, yeah, I need to take this sponsorship to like pay rent this month or whatever. It's like he's rich and deciding if he wants to be like mega rich or just like rich. And I think that kind of has to be factored into the conversation, at least like morally and stuff as well. But to me, I don't know. It's just very, very hard to defend. I think it's very, very weird. Again, a guy who is friends and connected with so many high elo streamers and stuff, that they're going on stream every day and bitching about the stuff about, wow, this stuff right here, betting on the high elo solo queue games is like ruining my experience, ruining my content. I want to quit the game. I don't want to play anymore. This is so stupid. Now, obviously, the argument is, yes, Riot should do something about this. This is ridiculous that Riot has not done something about it yet. But those two do not have to be mutually exclusive. Should Riot do something about this issue? Yes, 100%. This should have been dealt with as soon as it popped up. It's insane that it has gone on this long. Yes, Riot should do something about it. But does that mean LS should be taking money and promoting websites that offer a service like this? I do not think so either. I think those both can be true. Riot should do something about it, and LS should not be taking money and promoting a website like this. Now, obviously, it's not necessarily LS's duty to, police all these things that are going on. And obviously, the website, I'm sure, is going to claim that, like, hey, that's against our terms of service to be doing stuff like that, and they're fixing the matches and all this stuff. But again, that is us, like, acting to be ignorant when we clearly know what is going on. Again, LS is aware of the high elo betting situations and all this stuff. He knows how much this can affect people. He knows that this website offers this service. And again, it's not like he's encouraging people to do this or to fix solo queue games or whatever. But again, you are taking money and promoting a website that does do this and is one of the bigger players in this whole game that, again, is ruining the experience for so many people. The experience that you directly have made, a very, very lucrative career off of. And also have friends and acquaintances and business partners and all the stuff that are directly affected by it, which is just super, super weird to me. And again, my problem is not with the esports betting. My problem is not with the crypto. My problem is with the high elo solo queue rank game betting, which, again, I really don't think should be a part of this at all. Yes, Riot needs to do something about it. But to me, I was like, wow, that is super, super weird that LS would be, doing something like that. I don't know. What is also interesting is that, they say here that, they say that it used to go under another name or something like that. I want to see one of the comments. Also, the website was formerly known as DJ Esports. They rebranded it to Esports Bet.io upon being exposed on multiple frauds and scamming their users. So again, potentially LS promoting a website that, you know, has some shady history and stuff like that too. I don't know. Again, it's like how much due diligence or research should you do before accepting a brand deal or anything like that? Yeah, I don't know. We can go back and forth and argue about that for sure. The website also has major flags. One of them is checking their terms of service and the withdrawal policy, which is extremely vague and undetailed. They mentioned you need to join their Discord server and check a specific channel for further information, but also the mentioned channel isn't even visible or was possibly deleted. We also have this as well. Esports Bet has been a part of many talk shows, live streams, and media outlets, most notably Inside on Esports, which, like, this is like Thorin, Monty, all those guys. Like, hey, you know, whatever you want to say about them. They have their own show, which is mainly focused on esports betting, Competitive Edge, which, again, I don't think is necessarily bad. If you want to be supported by betting and make betting picks and all that stuff, I don't have a problem with that. But, again, the solo queue betting stuff, especially when it's like being rigged and all this stuff and ruining so many people's experiences, is a bit strange. Other shows on the channel are Summoning Insight, where usually the starting part is sponsored by Esports Bet. Other outlets that have worked with Esports Bet on the predecessors, DJ Esports, include names like Dexerto, show The Jungle with Digon, Monte Cristo, and I Will Dominate. Again, say what you will about all those guys. The show is no longer partnered with Esports Bet. Media outlet Dot is partnered with them. Also, former casters like Doa and Frostgaren have worked with them, and Frostgaren has later deleted tweets advertising DJ Esports. So again, do with that what you will. Also, one of my biggest issues with LS throughout this whole thing, this is just so weird to me. I mean, like the ultimate playing the victim card, reacting to Reddit thread that isn't clearly a witch hunt. Like, okay, man, I get it. Not everything's a witch hunt. Not everyone's just out to get you. It's not hate LS. It's not, you know, we're going to hate on everything that LS does no matter what he does. It's just you could probably be in the wrong here, and people could be calling you out rightfully so. Again, if you don't think you're in the wrong, then keep doing it. Who gives a fuck what people say? But, you know, maybe you are possibly in the wrong here, and this is overall a pretty weird situation. Again, I don't necessarily agree with everything that everyone is saying. I actually disagree with a lot of what Reddit and the overall community is saying, but that does not mean I think it is cool or right or that LS should be promoting a website like this. I actually think it's very weird. And yeah, I'm sure some people are saying some horrible things and crossing the line. You know, I know how the internet is. Obviously, LS knows how the internet is as well. LS did tweet out lots to think about, still reading everything, and I enjoyed the discussion with my grandmother and the other guy as well. I don't know what they talked about. Hopefully that conversation went well. Might take tomorrow, Worlds off, but not 100% sure. Tried to have honest, good faith discussions at least. I mean, that's weird to me too. You tried to have honest, good faith discussions while also calling it a witch hunt. Like, that's not really honest. That's not really in good faith. And then also, you know, saying these are real people, LOL, and saying to me how I'm open about my stance on sports betting, poker, collectibles, crypto, and people are still shocked when I'm just consistent in my stance towards these topics. I just don't get it. And again, I'm sure you have stance on all those topics, but is your stance that the high elo solo queue betting should be allowed? If it is, that's great. I stand strong in that belief. I just don't agree with that, and I'm going to think it's weird, and I'm going to say that you shouldn't do that, but hey, you are absolutely entitled to your opinion, your action and stuff as well. And again, if they're offering you a bag, you know, hey, go get your money, get your bag, whatever, but that doesn't mean that people can't have a reaction to it as well. But I don't know. Those are just my thoughts and opinions, and at least covering the story, getting all the info, at least the best of my abilities out to you guys. Again, this is kind of the main Reddit threads. I think I did all the info. Obviously, I gave some of my own thoughts and opinions, but hopefully, you know, this was presented in a mostly, neutral for the most part manner as well. I did, agree and disagree with both sides a little bit, but that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys think about anything we talked about in this video today. Subscribe to today and all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys on the next one. But until then, peace.